When it comes to learning acting, there is one interesting question that all budding and aspiring actors ask at least at some point when they are starting out. Should I learn to act through theatre or should I learn to act by facing the camera? Which is more better? In the long term, which is something that will pay off? Oops. At the heart of it, acting is all about finding a sense of truth. And irrespective of the medium, be it a live environment like theatre or more of a personal sort of an environment like facing the camera, ultimately what will make and break a performance is how well actors bring out the sense of truth in each character and situation that they perform and are put into. But that said, of course, there are some differences that makes each sort of medium unique. Theatre, for one, is more to the gallery. So you're actually performing in front of a medium, large to very large audience. So typically your body language, your voice throw, your actions, how you act on stage and move on stage, of course, has to become a lot more magnified. So body language becomes a very important part of acting in theatre. It'll prepare you more as a complete package, and that's why most suggest learning theatre, because you work on everything: your voice, body, communication. Camera, on the other hand, is more of a personal medium, so it's like almost like a fly on a wall sort of a thing, where the audience, the viewer, is sitting right beside you. While it might sound a bit easier, actually it gets even more challenging, because it's that much harder to keep things real when you're actually learning to act in front of the camera. The second big difference: theatre is a live medium, while films have retakes. It goes without saying that something you do in theatre on a stage during a live performance remains as it for live. And there's no way of going back and changing something you've already said when you're actually saying it in front of a large audience. So once you do a performance or execute a performance on stage, for that moment it's etched in stone. Whereas camera allows you to give a lot of retakes and fine tune and add nuances to your performance. In short, while theatre can be very hard to perform in a flow, one after the other, film also is challenging, because at times you'll have to get into emotion and character on the spot, making things that much more difficult and challenging. Last and most important point: theatre is an actor's medium and film is a director's medium. See, when you're doing a play or you're on stage, when you're in the moment, it's actually you who's doing the act, you who's performing, and there's no one who can come in there and edit it. This gives actors immense amount of power to execute or interpret the character the way they want to. So yes, ultimately, if you want to learn how to interpret and express your emotions the way you want to, yes, of course, there'll be directors to guide you while you're preparing for a play, rehearsing for it. But ultimately, theatre gives you a lot of freedom in actually how you choose to interpret a particular moment or emotion on the day of the play. You're actually performing it. Why film is a director's medium? That's just because in a film, the director is usually taking a lot of calls when it comes to figuring out the camera, the lights, the costumes. The director and the writer typically has a better grasp of how the story is moving overall, since they are objectively looking at it and various elements like other actors' performances. So yes, they are better placed to take a judgment, and finally, it's their vision we are performing out. So yes, it's a director's medium when we talk of films. Ultimately, theatre over here has a better hand, an upper hand, because you actually get to learn and interpret the emotions the way you want to, which at times is very satisfying as a performer, because you're getting to play the character just the way you want it to. Just completed the work and the day. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, ultimately, be it the stage, be it the camera, the fundamentals pretty much remain the same. I mean, there's a bit of tweaking you might have to do for each medium. So just like, changing from manual to automatic. But yeah, pretty much the fundamentals remain the same. And if you're someone who loves acting, you just won't need to bother, because ultimately it's the craft that's going to win over you. And how best you communicate the truth is something the audience will remember, irrespective of whether it's the stage or the camera. Hope this helps, and do let us know what you thought about this.